Good afternoon. Woo. So wing foiling at Fort Point. I've been hearing stories about it over the last 6 months or so, and it's the first day when my timing lined up with the conditions and a little bit of swell and enough wind and the tide, and came to check it out. Had the camera gear with me. I'm super stoked. Pretty cool to see. It's one thing to hear about it and imagine what it's like and what it looks like, and then to actually see guys out here just doing the conveyor belt thing, getting wave after wave. Pretty stoked to see. As a surfer, I've been on and off here for like 20 years. And as a shortboarder out here, I've been called a dork. I've had a boogie boarder tell me to get away from him. Had another guy run over my board and put a huge gash and just say, hey, there was a wave, basically tough luck. And as a videographer, I had a carload of guys drive by and tell me they hope my stuff doesn't end up on the internet. I had another guy scream at me when he saw my telephoto lens, and from, across the parking lot, he comes charging my way like he's going to do something. And, let's just on and on, tons of stories. I'm sure tons I forgot, but just overall, a gnarly experience surfing here. And over the years, and after a while, I just got sick of it and started going less and less, or I only picked the days when the peaks were spread out or I could get away. It's like hearing about this kind of wing foiling experience and just wave after wave, completely away from everybody. Don't have to, nobody's getting in anybody's way. There's nothing to fight over. There's just, guys are just hanging out, having a good time, and all is well. And just seemed like a huge contrast to my experiences at Fort Point as a surfer. And yet there was one day as a surfer that I came out here to Fort Point and a visitor arrived. He was an older guy visiting from somewhere else, and all the regulars knew him. They were all super stoked to see him. Everybody came up, said hi, big smiles. He was super friendly to everyone. He introduced himself to me and to everyone and greeted everyone. I saw him go out in the water. I don't think I saw him catch a single wave. It was almost as if he came to the spot and went in the water simply to be an ambassador of good vibes and to change the whole lineup. And what I learned that day is that one guy can change the whole thing. He can completely transform total jerk, bad vibes behavior into like peace and calm, and everybody's getting along, and everyone's just happy to be out and enjoy each other's company. And that's been my experience at every wing spot. I've gone all over the bay, gone in lakes, and everywhere I've gone, people are welcoming. They're cool. They're glad to see me. They're happy to see each other. They're willing to share. There's no drama. And that reminds me of another story I heard about a baboon troop that was aggressive and dominant, where the alpha males, the stronger males, they took most of the food, most of the women. They were very aggressive and dominating to both the women and the weaker males. And it was a really like hardcore kind of setup of, like the stereotypical, what people think of when they think of like survival of the fittest or something like that, where it's the strong survive and the weak perish, that kind of thing. And then a thing happened to this troop where some like toxic food or they got into some toxic waste or something. And the dominant males, being the hoarders, they took it all, ate it all, and they all died. And the only males left were the more relaxed, calm, peaceful, cooperative males. And from that day forward, the whole vibe changed. It went from being aggressive and dominant to cooperative, harmony. Everyone gets along and shares and gets their needs met. And even when bigger, stronger males came along, they assimilated into the new way instead of trying to enforce the fight, that high stress environment. And so that story, combined with my experience with wing foiling, gives me hope for surf and surfers and surfing and on surf spots, that maybe someday in the future, all the people that have that aggressive, dominant, beat it, enforcer, being jerks and violent and stuff, maybe all that will die off with them. And all these wing foilers, these people coming from wind sports and this more cooperative, abundant kind of mentality will bring that vibe with them to surfing and to surf spots. And as we spread out from the wind spots to the surf spots, we'll bring that vibe with us, and it'll change from from this aggressive, dominant kind of thing to one of where we value being together and sharing and having a good time above like the hoarding the waves. And we'd rather share waves and get along because it feels better. It's more fun. Everybody wins. So I'm hopeful. I'm optimistic. Thanks for watching. Learning to foil was both the most challenging and most rewarding adventure I've ever undertaken. And I hit a wall where I felt defeated in the learning curve, and I'd fallen and I didn't know how to get back up. I didn't know what else to try. And eventually, just through sheer trial and error and trying everything that didn't work, I figured out what did work. And so I've taken all that hard earned knowledge and turned it into a learn to foil course so that the adventure of learning to wing foil and surf foil is more enjoyable. So thanks.